The World Episode 2, Outlaw, Chapter 7. What a relief, or maybe not, Jung-ho said as he approached the other members who were watching the two brothers warmly. As the members looked at Jung-ho, he shrugged, pointing behind him with his chin. Having caught news of the Cromer, guardians were rushing in from all over. Sunghwa made eye contact with the female Thunder leader standing among them. On the surface, there was no change in her expression, but Sunghwa felt it. It's like she was smiling. Guess it can't be helped, Mingi shrugged and smiled playfully. Let's go. The group looked at each other and shouted together as they dispersed to their respective positions using the Cromer. Woo-young, who had come down from the quad half a beat late, called out as if he was upset at the other members who had already disappeared. Are you going to do this without me? A guardian stretched out his arm towards Woo-young's back, but there was a spark. With a flash, Woo-young disappeared into his position. With the sound of a loudspeaker, groovy music starting with the sound of a rough, low bass guitar filled the air. Along with the music, a large black tent covered the building. A blinding darkness overtook the people for a moment. Then, colorful neon-colored paintings appeared around the buildings and tents. A splendid fantasy world unfolded around the A marking inscribed in the center of the building. Breakers fell like shooting stars from above the impassive people. As if bewitched, the emotionless students and faculty reached out and grabbed the breakers like they were catching falling stars. Those who brought the breaker up to the chip under their ears were flooded with waves of emotion. It was nauseating at first, but they were soon amazed by the beautiful world that unfolded before their eyes. As Ateez and the Black Pirates appeared and disappeared in the dark, the Guardians could do nothing but jump after them helplessly. The paintings that filled the dark world then disappeared in an instant, and a ball filled with light fell from the ceiling to the center of the quad. Everyone's eyes were on the ball. The moment it touched the floor, the ball shot out beams of light, exploding like a light bomb. The light reflected on the walls of the building, and the shining wall showed people's reflections much like a mirror. Those who had regained their emotions walked slowly towards the mirror-like walls of the building. As if they were unfamiliar with their own faces, they touched their hands to their reflections and actual faces, comparing the two. Even those who had not yet used the breaker, upon seeing so many people in the same space to do so, began to follow suit. With so many people awakening at the same time, the Guardians were confused and unable to decide who they should catch. Just then, the tent disappeared, and Ateez reappeared among the students. The music changed, and the members danced and sang joyfully. People gathered around them, cheering, singing, and dancing along with the group. It was almost like a concert hall that could only be seen in World A. In World Z, where music, dance, and art had disappeared long ago, this type of scene was something from centuries past. The boy and his brother, standing at the front of the crowd, looked up and smiled brightly at the members. For the first time, their smiles were so bright. Like flower petals in the air, Ateez leaflets scattered in all directions. The students picked up and read the leaflets. Within minutes, the world at Prestige Academy was completely changed. The Guardians, trying to get a hold of the situation, rushed towards the members. Their leader called over the radio, "Catch anyone who's awakened. We need hostages." The Guardians caught the awakened in front of them at random. The awakened caught now will be immediately disposed of without replacing their chip. If you want to save them, put down the Cromer and come here slowly.